Right, so hey everyone and welcome back to another budget photography video. In this video I want to show you guys how to make a time lapse. Well, I've already made the time lapse. Right, so I've got my SD card plugged into my iPad now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to import. Now I could push import all, but that would juggle around with the order of the pictures that I want. So I'm literally just going to select it all row by row. Now I will speed this up for you now. And there we go, that's all photos there. Now I need to push import and that will now import all of the pictures. Right, so now that they are all imported in order, so now if I go to the top of the album and dismount the SD card adapter and SD card, you'll see the import goes away and we actually come to the first picture. Now, okay, fair enough, there was quite a lot of dirt. Something I didn't realise, there's quite a lot of dirt actually on the lens of this time lapse, but for the purposes of this video I don't really think it will matter. So if we just go through that, we can get kind of like a preview of the time lapse here. So we can kind of get a crappy little preview of the time lapse itself. And yeah, it's okay. So we have our beginning point, and then obviously go to the bottom, we have our end shot. So we're going to come out of photos and then I'm going to go into iMotion, which is just here. Now this is a great app. You can even make a movie within the app itself and set the interval and how long you want it to be with manual and stuff like that. You can use a remote trigger if you've got another iOS device, or you can import if you pay like 99p on the App Store. Now you can import photos in the free version, but it's only up to 100 photos, whereas this actually makes it unlimited, and you also get 1080p by 1920 resolution. So you push import and then you push start, and then it'll bring up your photos. You go to recent. Now this is the end photo here. Now we don't obviously want that, so we need to go to the beginning. Now this is another boring process, to be fair, because we actually have to now sit here and individually tick each photo. See, I've just mucked that up. If, for an example, I did just go like that and miss shots like that, it would then look just wrong. So I'm going to untap all of them, and now I need to tap every single one of these photos right here and make sure that you get everything in order, because if you miss one like that, again, it's just not going to look right. So you have to untap that one. So if you do that, you then have to untap all three of them and start again. So I'll just speed this up to make it easier. You can see at the bottom center that I've already selected 31 pictures. So I'll speed this up for you now. So there we go. That is all of the photos selected. So now I'm going to push over here in the top right hand corner. I'm going to push done. That is now importing all of the pictures that I've just selected. Now, what I will say is it is compressing the files into a JPEG or an MP4 file, which is unfortunate, but it has to happen to make it into a video format. So now we have lost that raw capability. So if you did want to do any kind of post-processing, then you've now lost that capability, unfortunately, because you now don't have a raw video. It's now an MP4 of sorts. Right, so now all pictures have gone in, and now I can select the frame rates. I can slow it right down to 1 frame per second, as you can see right here, which will actually take 243 seconds. Or I can speed it up to about 15. Let's have a look at 15. That's normally what time lapses are. They're about 15 frames per second. But because of how many shots that I've actually got here, I mean, I've not got a massive amount, but I've got 243, as I said, I can kind of increase that even more to make it go a little bit faster. So as you can see, we've got the sky moving, we've got the water moving, we've got the boats moving. There's a lot going on in this time lapse. So yeah, again, as I said, there's stuff that I can't get rid of now. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to export that. Actually, you know what? There's a button here that I don't actually press. So I'm going to slow that down to about 25 frames per second. Let's have a look at tools. What have we got here? Because I never usually muck around with these. There's nothing really useful in that, so we'll just forget that. So now I'm going to export that to my photo library. And again, that will export every single photo in a video format. Right, now it's just taking a lot quicker because the file or files are a lot smaller than what they were when I imported them. So there we go, my video has been saved to my photo library, so I can now close that, come out of my app and go, sorry for the bikes going past. And they're going to come right next door to me, aren't they? Yeah, here they go. Anyway, going back into our photo library, we can obviously still see we've got all of the pictures there, and we've also got a 10-second clip down here, which is obviously our time lapse. Just play through that. There we go. And now what we can do is we can get rid of that and we can download, that will actually take too long to download LumaFusion, so I won't download it in here. But what I'll do is I'll do some basic color grading on the iPad software itself. I don't usually use this software to color grade. I usually use LumaFusion myself to color grade stuff, just to sort any highlights if I can bring them back, or look at the shadows. Can I do anything with the shadows? Do I want to do anything with the shadows? Have a look at the contrast. Let's bring in some contrast, very small amount, because it's quite a cloudy day. And then sort out the brightness. Let's bring it a little bit brighter. Black point. No, I like it about there. Now it's quite a cloudy day, so there's probably not going to be much saturation at all, so we'll keep that. Vibrancy. That looks kind of okay, a little bit over. Maybe let's go back to the actual clip itself and just run through it. Yeah, it kind of brings back some of the colour, but still keeps that moody effect. Let's have a look at the warmth. No, it's quite a cold, miserable day, so we'll turn that down, but not too much. We won't have a tint, we'll sharpen it up a little bit though. Again, not too much. Definition and noise reduction, don't really need any of that. Don't really want a vignette, so I'll now push done, which will now, there we go, saving project right there. So there is the finished article itself, the finished video itself. Again, if I had a little bit more time, I probably would get rid of some of the little artifacts that has been left on the lens. I'd probably go through on Photoshop and sort out the pictures. But unfortunately, I don't actually have the time for that today. So this is the whole video that we got. This entire clip probably took me about an hour or two to actually film, because obviously it's photo by photo by photo. And if you go through this slowly, you can actually still see that. If I come to where the boats are, go to where some of the bigger boats are, here we go. So you can actually see each individual frame. And then obviously when it's sped up again and played, it looks a little bit more cinematic. Anyway guys, thanks for joining me in this video, and I'll see you in the next one.